What's up, everyone? You may not sound like it, but it's still me, Nina from Karma Marketing. Apologies. I've had a bit of a cold this week, but don't let my voice fool you. I'm very excited for this month of May as we are focusing on compassionate communication. And with me today is a very special guest from Indonesia who will help us discuss this topic for the month, which is client practices to cultivate compassionate communication. Now, just to talk about compassionate communication, a lot of people, when they think about communication, it's really the art of talking, but it really lies in a deep sense of empathy and also understanding. So, more than just choosing the right words to say, it's also about tuning into the unspoken nuances of our daily interactions with people and also actively listening to what's being said, but also actively listening to what's not being said. So, a lot of the things that we'll be discussing today is cultivating practices of talking nicely, listening to others, and also communicating respectfully with kindness and also empathy. So, with me today, I have Malta, and I'll have him introduce himself. So, Malta, say hi, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi. Hello. My name is Malta. So I'm a highly dedicated and experienced professional in the field of media communication, product marketing, and also in a startup with over 10 years of experience in the industry across the media agency and then the startups. So I've honed my skills as right now I'm sitting as a product marketing manager in e-fishery and also previously in Gojek also in Bukuaro. And related to this kind of topics, I have experienced 6 years as a senior media implementers and analytic experts working with the renowned clients such as Reckitt Bekinser and Kin Diary, AirAsia, and Investry. Also for the cigarette clients, also we have a Sampurna, and also for the coffee client, we have Kapal Api. And my passion lies in leveraging strategic media planning and compassionate communication to drive impactful results for our clients. I think that's a short brief from my side.
Sounds super amazing. It really sounds like you're a data enthusiast, but also really an expert at digital marketing.
Yeah.
So, with that said,
So
with extensive experience, that means you've talked and also listened to a lot of clients in your years as a marketer.
sure, a lot of clients, yeah, a lot of different needs, different customers that they are facing, different business models that they are facing. So this is quite a lot of a lot of needs and adjustment that in a one time we need to have a better understanding what clients needs and also what their customers needs at the same time.
Awesome. So I guess we should just get into it. The client practices, your own very client practices on cultivating
Yeah,
compassionate communication. We'll start off with the
yeah.
first question. And this is still personal. What is your personal definition of compassionate communication, and how do you incorporate it in your own life today with your own client database?
So interesting topics about today. So, in my personal opinion, this skill not only for something that related with the client side, but also with our customers. For example, in my industry, my customers are the farmers. For example, in Gojek, we have the customers, the merchants who own the outlet or the food area. But in agency, our clients, we personally see as the two main subjects that we see: the client itself, who's sitting as the advertiser, and also their customers. So this need a deeper understanding for both. So compassionate communication to me is also the art on engaging in open, non-judgmental, empathic, and conversation and prioritize understanding, connection, and also a mutual respect between us, between the client. So we are equal. So not we are seeking that the client is higher than us or we are higher than them because we have a deeper understanding. No, this is a mutual respect understanding. And throughout my career, I have consistently incorporated compassionate communication, both in personal interaction. So we need also to build a personal interactions with our clients. And also, for example, during my time as a media implementer at IPG Media Brand, so I work closely with clients to understand what are their goals, what are their business objective, what are their communication objective, what are their challenge, what are their customers needs for their products, what are their customers pain point related to the product, and etc. and etc. And by actively listening to what their needs, what are their concerns, what are their aspirations, so those qualitative interview with our clients and also supporting by the data, also we also need to create a safe and supportive environment for them to express themselves openly, so not by judging that, oh, our clients lack of data, oh, our clients have less understanding what their really problem is with the customer, for example. No, we don't need to put our judgmental in the first place of the conversation itself. So I would acknowledge that we put our emotion also, especially on positive emotion, yeah, and respond with empathy and understanding. Empathy means we need to sit our mind and heart in position of our clients, that maybe they are confused, or they possibly understand about the problem, and we need to go into deeper, what are their, the way they see about their customers, because the clients who see the customers, right? Or from our side, as my current position as the product marketing, I need to understand what the point of view of our farmers, shrimp farmers, for example, what are their pain points related to disease preventions, what are their concern about the pricing of the products, what are their concern about the weather that changing drastically and influence the shrimp cultivations. And this approach not only to strengthen our working relationships, but also to foster collaboration and trust, resulting in successful all the media campaigns that we are planning are based on what are our clients needs, what are their customers need. Also in our side, for example, in current condition as a product marketing, what are our clients, which is in here is the farmers, their pain points related to the marketing strategy with our product itself. Does the product answer their pain points or not? So the campaigns that align with those objective, with those concern, with those all aspiration, can be aligned to address the issue that clients already mentioned to us. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, honestly, I like how you pointed out how when it comes to empathy, you need to release or throw out any expectations and also judgment. Because I do believe that when it comes to empathy, you really need to understand where your client is really coming from. And a lot of people tend to always put themselves in the shoes first, when in reality you have to put yourselves in your client's shoes and understand, okay, what is the perfect way, what is the perfect language for them to understand what we need to go through and what problems we need to solve.
Sure, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, that's quite challenging because the clients have different needs. Yeah,
Yeah.
folks about what about their needs. For example, the client that I handle for the startup, the industry, for example, they have a different needs because their clients or their customers is B2B.
Mm.
While for the racket baking services, the customers, for example, they speak to the real customers like us, the public customers, for example, woman household, or teenagers, or even a kid, for example. So those have different needs. So the way we understand about the clients to put our feet into their shoes is the things that That's also the most important thing in the first place, to have their what are their point of view, seeing their business problem and also the communication problems. What are the issues the on the market with the competitors, and etc. It's quite complex to unite it and to combine the issue to see the objectively, very objectively, because the challenge, folks, to determine the issue sometimes is our subjective, our ego,
Mhm.
that become more energy into the rather than the logical thinking. That's we need to be balanced. For example, when the clients put you into a deadline, right? When they give you a brief and then they give you the deadline, sometimes we put the power of the ego, the panic, and etc. It becomes blurry our logical thinking. That, hey, what we need to spend our time is to listen in the first place. Listen to them, understand the current issue, then we can address the program, yeah, at the exact precisely what are their concern and what are their communication problems, what are their business problem, and etc. So sometimes the the biggest challenge because the clients need, like, I need this strategy like next week, the next 2 weeks. Those become, wow, how do I handle this, how do I, then it become blurry for our logical thinking to think clearly about what the real issue is, why we only focusing on the job, not the solution. That's the thing that sometimes we forget.
Very true. I completely agree. And I feel like, especially when
Yeah,
you put yourself at the mercy of your emotions, it will just ruin or just make you feel so distracted that you lose sight of the
exactly,
purpose of the job.
exactly.
Yeah. With that
Yes,
said,
exactly.
you know, you talked about so many things that you do, identifying the weaknesses, releasing or removing judgment or expectations, putting yourself in your client's shoes. What would you say are the top three practices that you have cultivated in your own work and even in your own personal life to hone out compassionate communication? And how did you start implementing it? And how has it improved your overall work life and also personal life since you've incorporated it?
Sure. So there are three practice that I want to highlight that have cultivated to enhance my compassionate communication skills. The first one, the most fundamental things about this compassionate communication is not talking, but we actively listening. We keep asking about why, how, and understand. During my tenure as a senior media implementer at media brands, I honed that my active listening skills by giving my full attention to the clients. Not only their brief, but we sitting together with them, actively listening. Why about this data? Why about these customers? Why this become their marketing objective? Why this become the communication objective? What are their pain points about the products? How about the competitors? How about the budget? And etc. and etc. So those things that we need to actively listening to them carefully, and by maintaining that the eye contact to them, and using attentive body language, that we try to put our empathy and minimizing the distractions. And also I ensure that clients feel heard and also they become understood that we are actively listening to them. And this practice helped me to better grasp their unique challenge and also aspirations. And also, this helped me to enabling me to provide tailored and effective solutions. That by actively listening, we know what are their really, really main issues, what are their really, really main problems, rather than focusing on the strategy. Let's focus on what the problem, what are the problem of the communication itself. And as a result, our working relationship with the clients also grows stronger because we all already built a strong bonding with them in the first place by actively listening. And the clients also appreciate it by their personalized attention and also support to us. And this is also reflected by their they understand that our bone is not only just the professional but also beyond that this has become their personal relationship. The second one that I want to highlight is the empathy and also the validation. Throughout my career, I have recognized the importance of the empathy and validation in building strong client relationship by putting myself in their shoes and also seeking to understand what are their perspective, and we could validate their experience and also emotion. For example, when working with the clients such as our Reckitt Beckinsale, Ken, and also AirAsia Investory, I actively acknowledge their concern. What are their frustration and also their goals without judgment, like, no, you should be thinking like this. No, what we need to do is to put ourselves to understand what are their point of view rather than judging in the first place. When we start judging, for example, like, no, sir, your clients need like this, like this, like this. For example, your customers need like this, like this. Those become they become uh, the we build a blockers between us and the clients in the first place by judging that it make them feels like, you think I don't understand about my customers, for example. So those things become also, they don't state it like that, but the way we judge that they don't really understand about their client issues, that's become the main blockers. Because the way we try to judge, the way we try to understand that we put ourselves that we understand more compared to our clients, this become a blockers, soon become a big blockers between us and a client. So this empathic approach, we need to create a safe and also collaborative environment where clients feel comfortable, share their challenge, share what it will leading to better problem solving and also successful outcomes. The third one, the last one, is that we need to put a clear and respectful communication. Why this is a very important about the clear and respectful communication? Sometimes when we put our empathy too far to our clients and build a strong bonding to personally, we forgot about the real problem with our clients, that they suddenly tell about their personal life. Then we forget that an hour that we put with them, that like most of the time we'll talk about their personal issue rather than professional issue. So this also need to be clear, and we have to put a respectful communication to them to give them understanding that this time, after we have the clear communication with them, then we can continue about other topics. So as a media professional and as a product marketing, also clear and respectful communication is a crucial in conveying ideas and collaborating with clients effectively. So I have consistently practiced using inclusive and non-confrontational language. So when we try to speak with our clients, please be careful with the way we put the language to them. Don't put the judgment in the first place. Give them the respect. For example, in bahasa, if you understand, like when you know the client is older than you, then we put the respect by saying that Pak or Madam or Sir to them in bahasa. But sometimes we as the younger don't put like that. So we just saying that you don't understand, just saying you. But in Eastern culture, these simple things, when you don't recognize that they are older than you, they are we need to put more respect to them. not making them become over than us, but showing the respect that they are older than us, and we saying that Pak, Bu, or for example, Madam or Sir, something like that.
Mhm.
It's something make them become respectful. So non-confrontational language also need to be put the attention and discussing what are the media strategies and also what are the plans and etc. And by encouraging open dialogue and actively we seeking client feedbacks about
Mhm.
what do you think about like this, sir? What do you think about like that? And what are your point of view about like this? So asking more something, what are their point of view rather than that judging. No, sir, you don't have to think like this. The clients, uh, your clients, I mean your customers like this and like that. Don't put it in the first place. But after we have the detailed plans, after we do some research combining the information for them, and we have the presentation, then that is the place when we have the discussion whether the ideas or the fact that clients gather compared to the data or facts that we gather, there is frictions. If there's need more clarity, that the understanding is we have better understanding. That is the place. But when in the first place you get a brief, you have a conversation with the clients in the first place, don't judge anything. And incorporating about uh, their ideas into the process. So this is also respect them that sometimes they understand what they want to do with their customers. Or for example, in my place, that the farmers already understand what are their needs, what they want to do. So our job is to help them to build a bridge, that to put them in a process that we also consider their ideas, we also considers the client's perspective to put in a strategy. So I ensure that our communication was a two-way street. So not just one way, that the clients dominate or also me
Yes.
dominate the conversation, like interrogating someone. So this should be two-way of communication. And
Yes.
also this approach not only improve the quality of our collaboration, but also strengthen the trust and rapport with the clients itself. So those are the three highlights that I would like to share.
No, honestly, those are three amazing practices. And I really like how you emphasize always giving validation to your clients, because that is the best way to make sure that you and your client are on the same page. And I think that's a common mistake that different marketers tend to face when they're talking with their clients, is that they immediately assume that everything is okay, but then they forget that it's a two-way street, like you mentioned as well, Malta, that you need to get feedback from your clients and you need to understand that they also understand what you're trying to tell them. So I think it's great. Those three main practices are really amazing for any marketer that's listening right now. When it comes to cultivating compassionate communication, the main keyword is that it's a two-way street.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So we can go with our last question. And I super appreciate everything that you mentioned, from your insights and even your top three practices. But maybe going back to a personal note, maybe you've learned this from your clients, or maybe you've had a previous mentor. But yeah, what is the most important advice that you have learned on your way as a compassionate communicator, or even just, the best advice that you can give to the Carmel marketing community, to those who are trying to instill this compassionate communication in their own life as well?
Well, this is such a challenging question, yeah, because we are keep improving. So new experience will improve also what is the best practice, what is the best advice. But at the moment, in my practices, the most important advice that I can give to you folks is to those trying to build their own practice for compassionate communication is to cultivate our self-awareness. Throughout my career, I've recognized the significance of the self-reflection, also self-awareness in improving communication. For example, when I was become a analytics in a professionals and also not only as an media implementer but also as an analyst and also right now the skills of the analyst is also become important in product marketing. I regularly reflected my own thoughts, reactions, and also biases. This self awareness allowed me to approach client interactions so more consistently and authentically by understanding my own triggers, managing them effectively. So I could remain present and empathetic during the conversation in a high pressure situations. As you know, in an agency and a startup, the pacing of the change is very, very fast. So
Yeah.
sometimes yeah, when we put in a very, very, very short deadline, it's a very, very high pressures when we need to put self-awareness in the first place that we try to focus. Please don't put yourself into the emotional situations that this has become the hectics. This has become a very short deadline. We need to do this, to do this, to do that. But trying to understand about the data, trying to gather about what the clients already mentioned to you in the first place. So this is a very, very important in the first place to that we can separate between the rational and also the emotional.
Yes.
Once we can do it, we can clearly put our mind very clear, listening to our clients and reading the brief very clearly and understand, oh, this is the issue, not just biased by the we need to do it very fast, we need to do deliver this like that, like that, like that. And also additionally, seeking the feedback from the college and also the clients has become important in my journey. So towards my compassionate communications by actively seeking the feedback, asking our friends, asking the clients very details, not only one clients but also their supervisor or their downline to understand about really this is the issues the mentioned by the client A that the customers like this, the marketing objective like this. What do you think? Does the company really want to move to this place and to this objective and etc. So by actively seeking the feedback and embracing the growth of the our mindset itself, so we able to identify the areas of the improvement and refine our communication style. And also this become continuous learning, yeah, folks, that we need to continuous learning and growth have not only enhance the way of the our communication itself.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Beautiful. I love the advice. And to highlight as well, I agree. It really is a continuous learning process because communication is interaction and you get to interact with so many different people that you just need to open yourself up, no judgments, start from a level of awareness, understanding that everyone is different. People have different needs, different emotions, and you will receive different interactions, especially from these different people. So I love all of the insights. It's super helpful. And I hope that anyone that's listening right now to this episode that you may start as well on a very enlightening and also fulfilling journey on to compassionate communication. So thank you, Malta, for joining us in
Sure.
today's Sage feature. Hope you
Thank you very
enjoyed it.
much.
To those listening, tune in for our next episode and our next content feature. Peace and love, Karma Marketing.